He'd just see him in the
come
room
home from practice, and he'd be sweating his ass off, and I'd be like, "What you do?" He's like, "Bro, I was just killing at the rec."
Can you imagine though, like being like a guy at the rec, just like a frat boy, like, hey, me and the buddies are gonna go down and play fives at the rec?
I really went on winning streaks for real.
I'm sure they're like, "Dude, Juan, we played a game to 11, and Juan had a triple double. It made no sense."
Dad used to tell me all the time. He used to tell me all the time, son, don't worry about the mules, just load the wagon.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Rock Chalk Unplugged. I'm Chris Tehan, my co-host Mitch Lightfoot, and our special guest today, Dajuan Harris. Dajuan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Doing great. Super excited to have you on today. Obviously, you've been the leader of the Jayhawks for the last 3 years, the point guard position. Little known fact, it was Chris and I's roommate as well. Shout out to 365, his best room in McCarthy. But super excited to be here today. Look forward to hearing some insight from you. Chris, you want to get us started?
Yeah. All right. So we'll start out pretty recent. What was going on? Obviously, Coach Self, he has that medical incident late into the year. Definitely affected the way our team played. What, like, from an insider's perspective, you're the point guard, so you're an extension of the coach. What is it like, and what are the responsibilities that you took on when Coach Self was gone?
I mean, it was hard because that was our head of our snake. Like he's a Hall of Fame coach. He knows the game better than everybody on our team, our coaching staff. So when he got down, I mean, we was like, dang, but we just knew everybody had to step up. We just had to help Coach Rob out. He did a great job anyways with the coaching and stuff. But I feel like if we was more together than like the other teams we lost to, then I think we would have made a better run than we did. But with Coach Self being not there, I think that hurt us big. But I feel like we still could have did better with Coach Rob because he did a great job. He ran the same plays Coach Self ran. He's gonna preach in the locker room how get you motivated. So
he's gonna do that.
Yeah,
he's gonna do that for sure.
What I remember when it happened, when the news first came out during the Big 12 tournament. When did you guys find out that, hey, we're gonna be without Coach Self and we're gonna have to go forward with Coach Rob?
I think we was getting ready for team meeting at snack time.
Night before?
Night before going over scout, and then Coach wasn't there, and then that's when they told us. I think they told us the next morning. They told us Coach. He went to he just wasn't gonna show up today or something like that. And then the next morning, that's when they told us he wasn't gonna be able to coach. Hopefully he comes back the next day. But then the news came out. He couldn't.
But so, I think after Coach Self's meeting this past Wednesday, it instilled a lot of confidence in me, kind of showing that, hey, he wants to coach, and he wants to coach for a good amount of time going forward. Yeah, I think that settled the nerves of all the KU fans that were freaking out, thinking, "Oh, this meeting's going to be the retirement of Coach Self." Like, what do you guys hear about that? Do you guys read into that at all, or not really?
We see everything on Twitter, social media, Facebook, everything. But Coach Self talks to us all the time in the locker room. He's gonna let us know what's going on. So we knew what was going on. It's just we didn't just let the world. You know how Coach is.
Yeah,
we keep 100%. Everything in the locker room, keep it to ourselves. So
100%.
Yeah. And I mean, I've loved watching. I was at work when the actual interview, when he had the press conference, but listening to the footages after. I've never been more confident in the way that Kansas basketball is going to go because I've never heard that man talk like that. And if he's saying something like that, that dude he's locked in.
The clip of him saying we've been at a high level, but I want to take it to another level. I was like, oh, dude,
I don't know what level he can take it to. Coach, you already got it at the highest level you can be, but that's what you got to do. You're the best coach. You got to keep going, keep improving. He going to the transfer portal this year, so I think he's trying to just up his game and win more basketball games.
Speaking of the transfer portal, Chris and I both wanted to get into this. Talk about what the transfer portal means now. Obviously, you're losing guys, you're gaining guys. I read a stat that 20% of scholarship players at Division I have transferred this year, which is crazy. Which is a crazy number. 1 in 5 players is transferring.
That's ridiculous.
This year. So talk a little bit about that. Give people an insight. Obviously, I mean, the guys that are leaving, they're your buddies, but at the same point in time, you got to do what's best for them.
As a general manager of the team, I mean, you're the quarterback.
Yeah. Dajuan Harris is the general manager.
You're the general manager. You're like Aaron Rodgers saying, "Hey, I want another weapon at wide receiver." What do you think the team needs? You don't have to go too much into detail, but just kind of think what's going through Coach Self's head, and what's the style of play you guys are wanting to do next year.
I feel like what's going on in his head right now is that we probably need some better wings, but we need wings. We don't got no wings.
Yeah, we have none.
Jay Will gone, Kev, Grady, they all gone. So, he like bigger wings too, I think. So we got to get that, and then we probably need another big. But really, the transfer portal, you don't know who's gonna be on somebody's team. They're giving out a lot of money, so. It's like the NBA, like a free agency, basically.
You think NIL impacts it as well? Like, do you think guys are going to different schools because, I can get more money here, I can get more money there?
Oh, yeah, they going wherever the bread goes. Wherever the money is, that's what the most money they can get, that's where they going. And then if they like the school, they visit it, but they definitely going where the money is.
So, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of mixed reviews on it, but it is like, every year, like I kind of trash the transfer portal. Like everyone's leaving, no one really wants to ride it out. But then it is like these first 4 weeks after the season's done, like seeing all the big names go. It is like NBA free agency, and it is so much fun to watch.
we talked about on our last episode. We talked about Caleb Love, like how he was in the transfer portal, and how funny it would be if he transferred and came to KU, and then had to watch himself missing a shot on the scoreboard every time during the national championship.
I really thought he was going to Mizzou. That's what everybody thought, yeah.
Really?
Because I got, my best friend that plays in Mizzou, Isaiah, he thought he was going there too, and that's when, he close to home. St. Louis is right there, out like a couple hours away, so that's what I thought. And then I seen Michigan on Twitter. I was just surprised.
I think that get by Dajuan Howard's it's like a career maker almost. Like if
he lost Dickerson.
Yeah.
Dickinson.
He lost Dickinson. And so, like, to replace him with that, like, it's a bad look to lose someone who's averaging 20 and 10 as your best player, and then to bring in someone at the same caliber.
I think
that is like it's like
I feel like for Howard, like he has if Caleb doesn't pan out at Michigan and doesn't replace that, then I think that could be not detrimental to his coaching career, but that could definitely be a hit to it. And I don't know.
They've underperformed the last 2 years.
No, they've definitely underperformed, and I think that might. Do you think Michigan considers like, hey, do we move in a different direction if the guys he's bringing in all Americans and he can't turn them into a conference contender?
I don't think so, because I mean. Like, think about if we hired like Mario Chalmers to be our head coach, and then we let him have 3 years, and he had 2 bad years, and we just chopped the head off of that. Like, I think that's a bad look for like the alumni and everything.
100%. No,
he's losing the best big too, one of the best bigs in the country. So that is hard to replace. You can't find too many bigs that's averaging 20 and 10.
That's crazy about the transfer portal. How you can just completely change the makeup of college basketball every year, and it definitely makes college basketball more exciting. I wanted to get into next, talking a little bit about the women's basketball team here at KU. Won a WNIT championship. Talk about that atmosphere. Talk about what it was like in the field house, getting to support them.
Because my girls on the team, so I've been to every game, down to every home game. So I mean, they didn't have too many people at the regular season game, but everybody showed up for the WNIT, and I think that was big for them because playing Allen Fieldhouse with a packed house. It's different, you ain't gonna win opponents not gonna win too many games coming in there with the best fans in the country. So, but with them, I think that helped them out, especially the championship game because they played a pretty good team, and I feel like the crowd got involved with them pretty well. So.
I didn't think about it until you just said it. It's like if you're the opposing team coming in to play at the WNBA,
especially girls,
championship in Allen Fieldhouse. Like, you're like, okay, they're gonna have 16. You're gonna have 16,000 in there for. Oh, we would want if they did that for 30 national championships. If they did that for
men's basketball, like the NCAA tournament, that'd be wild. Like the higher seed gets the.
It was loud in there too. Like it was like it wasn't argue like the men's games, but it was. It was up there though. It was,
for sure.
And they 1,000% deserved it.
Yeah, they had Especially, I think they really should have made the tournament, but you know how the stuff goes.
I think they just went to prove that they should have made the tournament by running off and winning the WNIT.
And then they gonna have everybody back next year too. So I feel like they keep doing what they doing and
100%.
Keep this going throughout the summertime. Get better out the summertime.
They
should. I think they should have a pretty good run.
Make a deep run in the NCAA tournament next year would be awesome.
In our athletic department, this last 2 years, I mean, you were here our first 2 years when our football team was awful, and our women's team wasn't that great. Volleyball wasn't doing great either. So now, I mean, you're looking at the football team becoming an actual competitive team. The games are so fun to go to, and the women's games, they're starting to get better. We're playing really well. Does that improve? Do you think, I wouldn't say like the attractiveness of Kansas, but like having those events, like having those football games to go to, like do you think that has to help recruiting? And you can tell like when you bring people like on officials and stuff.
No, yeah, because you remember like you said, my freshman year, they ain't had too many people at the football game. Now this past year has been packed.
Yeah,
they getting dubs, winning big games, and they getting better too. And hopefully like next year the same thing goes. But we bring in the recruits. They see everything. They see how we doing good in basketball now. They see the football, because football is really like one of the biggest things next to basketball. So if our football program keep doing what they doing, then that's gonna help us out with recruiting too.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of recruiting and hosting players, explain to the fans that might not know what hosting an official visit looks like, and give them a little insight.
And in a very broad term. Broad term.
Well, I ain't take no visits, so I'll try. Basically, they go to the Overrated, get a little nice hotel section, a little bed, a little room, but
come hang out with the guys.
They come hang out with the guys at nighttime. They go to dinner with coach. Coach might bring a couple players on the dinner, and then
they play pickup with us.
Play pickup, come to workouts, watch, and then they
go back
try
to
on
the
the jerseys and go to Allen. But really, just try to have them have a good time.
For sure.
Yeah, know.
Yeah, and like show them like everyone thinks like official visits is like, hey, let's bring this dude out here. Let's take him down to the triangle and like let's do all this stuff. Which I mean, like. We do some things to show them around campus, but like it's mostly to show like how tight knit the
our group is.
Like going to Coach Self's house or going to those dinners and seeing how the players interact with each other. Like it's a huge thing for those like the guys you bring on recruits.
Yeah, especially because we just had a recruit in last weekend. We showed them everything like what we do. Like how you came in using what was going on.
Nothing.
I showed him what I learned from y'all, and then from Marcus, even Mitch. I just showed him the ropes, and then hopefully he liked it. If he comes, he comes. But if he don't, be alright. But the recruiting stuff, I think the coaches talk to the players, and I think they just trust in coaches, like our coaching staff, because they're one of the best coaching staff in the country, and they know what they're doing. They won championships, they all the time, every year. So I feel like they just. Recruiting, they keep talking to the recruiters. They come in, listen, and then pay attention.
Speaking of talking about recruiting, talk to us a little bit about your recruiting journey. I know for the people that don't know, you weren't committed here originally, and you changed your path and ended up at Kansas. Like talk to us about that.
We stole them. We stole them.
Missouri.
Thank God we did.
I was at Missouri. I was at Missouri State, and then I was gonna. I wanted to go somewhere else. I want to play somewhere big, like here, like how I am now. But I was about to go back to. I was gonna go to a prep year and do AAU again, and that's what I did in the summertime. And then Coach Self, CB got to talking to Coach Jarrett. So I guess they needed a point guard or whatever, because Devon was only here for. I mean, he was only here for my freshman year.
Yep.
And so even though I ain't played but really,
it was a good year though.
It was a great year. But basically they was talking, and then Coach Howard got to talking to Coach Self, and then Coach Self came to watch me play at Peach Gym, and then I played. I think I played my best game, the game he came, but I think we lost that game to AOT against Sharif Cooper and being in Boston.
And so you did it against Sharif Cooper, and he was killing. And so that's a good look.
The team was loaded though. Brandon Boston and Sharif Cooper.
Man, they was good. They was good, and then. But after that, after Peach Jam was over, I got to talk to Coach Self, and then I had an academic problem. So I was doing online classes. I had to do those to be able to come here to be eligible. And then when I got here, I had to sit out for a whole semester. I couldn't even practice, and then when I got to practicing with y'all, I got closer to y'all. Because at first I wasn't really that close to y'all for real. And then,
you used to go to the rec and hoop all the time.
You go to the rec and hoop, and we were his roommates. And obviously we never saw him. Like we couldn't see him around. Like he couldn't lift with us, couldn't practice with us.
He'd just see him in the
room
room
from practice, and he'd be sweating his ass off. And I'd be like, "What you do?" He's like, "Bro, I was just killing at the rec."
Can you imagine though, like being like a guy at the rec, just like a frat boy, like, hey, me and the buddies are gonna go down and play fives at the rec.
I really went on winning streaks for real.
I'm sure like, dude, Juan, we played a game to 11, and Juan had a triple-double. It made no sense.
I think the longest streak I won on was like 11, I think. Well, this dude named Cam, if he see this pod, he can merch it. He knows, but no, there was some good runs. They was playing hard too, so I couldn't. And then they didn't know me for it. Like, who's this little skinny dude? Coming in here, think he good. And then,
rec hoops after the season though are some of my favorite things. Like my favorite memories at college. It's like after the season we get like 2 weeks off, and so like majority of the time like we take guys
It's really like a week off. But
Actually,
go on.
it's supposed to be 2 weeks, but it's really like a week. But we go to the rec, and after my freshman year ended, it was like Frank Mason, Josh Jackson, Carlton Bragg. Like we had like crazy like talent, and Devontae would be in there, Malik Newman would be in there. So we were running fives against frat boys and their teams, and it was hilarious because like they'd be like, dude, like what the hell is going on? And sometimes we'd mix the teams up, or sometimes we'd have just like all-star teams. Crazy experience.
The football, when I my freshman year, when I was going up there, the football players would go up there too. So that was another reason I was playing.
Hey, the best rec player,
he was gonna play.
Best rec player I ever seen in my entire life was Silvio de Sousa. He used to go out there and run people over.
He was playing rec for 3/4 of the year anyways after the K-State game.
Yeah.
He was just playing rec at practice.
Man, that dude too big.
Dude, too big. All right, so let's get back. We got a little off track there. Let's go back to the recruiting. And just like we were talking about your first year, how you couldn't really practice or play. But you were really good friends with Marcus Garrett. Yeah. And obviously you've been lifelong friends with Christian Braun. But the way you guys play defense is like it's similar. Like Marcus's fit on that 2020 team would be your fit if you plugged in the same position. Like, hey, take away the side of the court, go pick up guys 94 feet. And you guys were good friends. Was that something he took you under his wing and kind of taught you, or were you just guys like you guys were just wired the same, like just defenders and just were boys? Like, was there he took you under wing a little bit?
Yeah, he definitely did. I learned a lot because I used to foul a lot too. Starting the game, I couldn't foul. But, he's 6'5", long. And then, I'm just 6'1", long. I'm long too. But with him being on my wing, I'm watching games, even in Allen, and even after games, we be watching like the highlights and stuff. Yeah. But we just, we spent millions of hours together every night, every day. But being under just watching him, how he succeeded and locked up people, even playing for Coach Sell, but like motivate him to be the best defender in the country. It showed me what I can do, and then really that's for real. Like it really did wire me. I've been always gonna play defense like my whole life, but I think playing with Mocan starting at 7th grade, they taught me like
how to really
preach defense,
how to really play. And then when you come here and you watch some dude get praised as much as Marcus Garrett was, dude, Marcus wasn't even scoring points for like games on games stretch, and like he was the best player. Yeah. Like that has to give you confidence where you're like, all right, hey, I want to be that guy. Like I don't even have to score on offense. You're a lot better offensively than Marcus. Love Marcus to death, but like you kind of scores naturally. But I think that like, did you look at that and be like, okay, that's my spot. Like,
because he locked up all the best players, and then
everybody.
Yeah, he locked up everybody. It was crazy.
I think it's kind of crazy though, coming from AAU when AAU's so offense based and offense focused. I know, like I think that's just like that's like a
Mocan made you, especially at a young age, they made you play defense, picking up 94 figure. You know how it was.
Oh my God, those practices were hell.
And having 2 practices a day
Christian's
on the
out there
weekend.
picking up Trey Young and Mike Porter Jr.
We do the channel drill, and I'd be guarding Mike or something. And they would after half court let you play a one-on-one. Like, what am I doing to Michael Porter? Like, I literally would grab him and tackle him. Like, I was like Ed Reed out there at some of those practices.
And he was the truth back then too in high school.
The truth. That may have been the hardest player I ever had to guard in my life. Mike Porter. Give him his flowers.
Mike Porter
was nice too though.
Malik Newman.
Dude,
Malik Newman in March was crazy.
We ended practice multiple times at Mocan because Mike Porter dunked on kids. He dunked on Keenan Fitzpatrick so bad. So bad. We were in Bentonville practicing, and we got through 20 minutes of practice, and we canceled it and drove back. That's how bad Mike dunked on the kid. All right, okay, so we talked about Marcus. Now let's talk about CB. Like, we won a national championship. That is on top, like, has to be one of the greatest feelings, whatever. But you did it with what really is like your brother.
Yeah.
You just explain that a little bit.
I mean, everybody, y'all know that we grew up since 7th grade together. Yeah. That his mom did a lot for me. His family took me in, a lot of my other teammates in, a lot of my other friends in. And we basically just grew. I used to go to his house in Burlington, even though he used to say it was boring, but I thought, me and my teammates always thought it was fun.
Oh, I'm sure you guys had so much fun.
We had fun, and then going to Mocan practices every day, every weekend, and then everybody going to his house after the practice, and then all of us just bonded together, and then me and him got closer and closer. Then we lost, you know how Mocan, you lose some teammates and you don't see them again.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
us three, me, him, and Isaiah from Mizzou. We all stayed, because you got to try out again and stuff.
Yeah.
They might not want you, but they wanted us back.
I mean, they wanted you guys for sure. Like, you just had to go to show face.
And then ever since then, since 7th grade to now, we've always been close, been connecting. We did everything together, hoops, watch movies, anything you could think of. He even showed me the ropes here too, because you know how CB is, how he big time, he Mr. Big Time. But it's just fun being around him. Even on the court, he's a great teammate. He gonna show you how he is, show you like I'm that dude. So
he's unfiltered. He's unfiltered 100% of the time. And I mean, I was thinking back to like my Mocan days, and just in AAU in general. It's like, yeah, those weekends, like we would do those 2-a-day practices, and you guys were from out of town, so I always had my teammates at my house, and like that was a good feel of college. Like that was a grind. It's like where you go chill at whoever's house after and just do dumb stuff the whole time, and then go back to practice again and get yelled out for the next 2 hours. Like
and then leave, and then come back another hour.
Oh God!
Practice for 2 hours, and then leave again. You might stay for an hour, and then practice at nighttime. So
yeah,
we spent a lot of time together.
You guys spent a lot of time together. I mean, and you guys got along very well, and that had to have been fun. I mean, the way you guys played off of each other, and like it wasn't all the time because you weren't like CB's a guard, so kind of, but like there was definitely times where you guys would make a play together where you'd be like, yeah, hey. They didn't even think about that. Like, Juan dribbled twice and passed the ball and was still looking at the basket. Didn't even know where the ball was. Like, him and CB have just done that shit so much that it just kind of came natural.
And then, winning the championship together, that's probably one of the proudest moments because, I ain't expecting me to be there. I know CB probably didn't expect to be here either. So, that was just a big accomplishment. Nobody would ever forget that. And then seeing him do what he did in the championship game, even though I did my part too, but seeing him turn up, that just made me even more happy.
You turned up too, and like I think that's the great thing about you and CB's relationship. Mitch, you can attest to it. It's like when one of you guys did something, like the other one was more happy than the guy who did it, and then like if he did something, you were more happy than he was. Like it always was like they were more happy to see the other one succeed than you guys were to see yourself.
You know how I'm so unselfish. I think CB is too, because CB could have scored 15.
He could have taken a ton of more shots.
He didn't even take. We had to beg. Y'all had to beg him to shoot the ball.
For the first half of the year.
And he never wanted to shoot the ball. He just wanted to win. And I think that's what made us tight too, because we always wanted to win. And then he always make winning play. I try to make winning plays. So our game just kind of fit in, even though he's 6'6". But he just he's just a winner. Like Coach always said, he gonna do everything to win.
Didn't you used to be way taller than CB?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's some pictures, but
we got to plug that picture.
Like CB was a little kid until his junior year or sophomore year of high school.
Sophomore year,
he was a baby until like his 8th grade.
I remember freshman year when summer ended for Mocan. Came back that next year. I was like, what's the? Oh hell no!
Dude, he had that baby face because he literally was a baby until that time. Like not to like out CB.
Now we think he has a beard now.
What'd you say?
Now he thinks he has a beard now.
Oh, he has a beard. He had a mustache last year. He said I jacked his style off the mustache last year. I have more of a mustache right now. I shaved this morning.
I'll be shaving mine too.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the border war, being back at Mizzou this year. What was that like going back home, and were their fans very accepting, or did they bring up anything crazy?
As soon as we walked in, they started chanting "fuck KU" like the whole time, and then I think they had like a little board. And
was that Dinklage stuff?
It's okay. Somebody had like a board, but I didn't know. Like I forgot who like tabbed me. It was like, look over there. I looked in the student section, and they like showed my ACT score. That's
which is a 32, right?
Yeah, 32.
I thought it was a 36. All right, 32. Yeah, 30, now I understand. That's embarrassing. 32 is embarrassing, dude.
They did that, and I just started laughing. That was funny. But you know how that is. They just talking stuff, and then we played really good.
Put them in their place real quick, so it's funny after. It wouldn't have been funny if we lost.
And like
they didn't say nothing.
When we whooped them earlier this year, like I felt like, oh dang, Mizzou isn't very good this year. Like, we beat them by 36, whatever. Like, okay. And they actually turned out to be.
That became an impressive win for how much we won by.
Yeah, like that was like they made the tournament, right? And they lost.
They lost to Princeton.
They lost to Princeton.
Second round.
Nice job, Mizzou. Nice job, Mizzou. Way to go. Way to go.
They just caught a stray.
What's on Instagram? Well, like our starters and shit had all had 14, 15 points, and I think Ocha had 12. And I was like, damn, that's crazy because Ocha averaged like 20 the whole year, and our best player didn't even play with
In the Natty?
In the Natty.
I loved after the Natty. Like, we were talking in our group message, and like I think it was you or maybe CB or Ocha just like sitting there being like, damn, guys, can you believe we won the Natty and we didn't even play our best game of the year yet? Like, we were getting better. Like, we were still on the uptick. Like, how good would we have been? Like, would we have beaten the Lakers last year? I think that's the question you got to ask yourselves.
Who the hell is guarding LeBron? I don't think I'm guarding Anthony Davis.
CB's been locking people up in the league.
That dude guarding everybody, every superstar.
And
Clamping.
Crazy. He wasn't claiming you in practice, though.
No, he wasn't. I was cooking him. I'm better than Giannis.
Direct,
I'm more physically.
Direct shot at CB. He couldn't guard Christian.
No, he couldn't. I'm more athletic than Giannis too. All right, let's move on a little bit. We were talking about like your unexpected road to Kansas, and I mean your time at Kansas has kind of been unexpected. I mean you've been here. You're going into your 4th year, right?
Yep.
You're going into your 4th year of playing. So you've been here 5 years. And you have 2 years left.
Yeah, 2 years.
So, like, think about this and just, I mean, you've been starting for 3 years, or you've been starting for 2 years. You played 2 more years. You have a national championship under your belt. At the rate you're progressing, like, you really could become one of the most well-known, like, statistically on paper, and not even, like, statistically, but, like, people will have you in your mind as one of the best Jayhawks to ever do it. Did that ever cross your mind when you came to Kansas? Like, have you ever thought about that, or am I just messing you up now by mentioning it?
No, I never thought about it. I mean, I'd still be to this day. I still be like surprised, like shocked that I'm still even here, bro. But it's just crazy. It really is crazy that I'm here, and then even playing for KU, like playing in Allen Fieldhouse. That's I still be shocked to this day. But basically, I mean, like you said, I got 2 more years.
Yeah.
I still got a year tomorrow, like next year coming up. So that'd be my 4th year. So 3 years. 2 years. That's crazy because I can break the assist rate. I can do some stuff.
You can do a ton of things.
I can do a ton of stuff, even with NIL.
And yeah. I mean, even with NIL, but even like not doing, like even not breaking those records. I mean, dude, like the way that you already talked about, like in Kansas folklore, we have another good year this year, bro. Like you don't even have to have one record. They may just put you up on the rafters next to the national championship banners. Dajuan Harris, full-size portrait.
I feel like the way I play.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. I feel like because I'm so unselfish. I be guarding and stuff. Everybody want me to shoot a lot, but I feel like the way I'm playing, I'm just so unselfish, and everybody like to play with me. And then I play super hard, and I'm the smallest dude out there, and I just show that I can play with everybody. So that's what I think it is. I just play the right way.
Yeah.
Speaking of the NIL stuff, you kind of like touched on this a little bit beforehand. How beneficial has that been to you? I know there's people out there that think, oh, this is a bad thing, and it's impacting the purity of college athletics. But how has it allowed you to help not only help yourself, help your family? How's it helped you?
Really, now I know I don't gotta ask nobody for nothing no more. Whatever my family asks, I give it to them. Anything they ask for, I just give it to them because I just be saving my money. I don't even be trying to spend my money on nothing. And really, if you just keep stacking your money with this NIL stuff, you can get a lot of money out of this because they paying people out. Schools are paying the athletes now. So, and then us being like the biggest school, especially with the basketball stuff, how we how NIL stuff is. But really, just for my family. That's all I'm trying to stack all my money for my family so I can make sure they can have anything they want and whatever I want. So really, that's all. Really, just for my family, for real.
He's a really good example. Like when we do those NIL events, like we go to those little happy hours where they kind of donor money and stuff. Like you're always a person I bring up because that is your outlook on it. It's like, hey, Juan he's the most grateful to receive those checks just because like he wants to take care of his family and like that to me is cool.
I think he's everything that's right about NIL. Like
everything. He's a can't like yeah. We were talking about like the way you play, bro. You play like a Kansas basketball player. You're grateful for everything you got.
You act like one. Like
you get the respect you deserve too. Like
We joked about this, but this is usually the Dajuan Harris fan club. Like we whenever anybody says anything shitty about you on Twitter,
No, I'll be saying,
I have a burner. And a lot of the tweets are going out to Dajuan Harris. You guys won't be able to find it, but I get a lot about defending Dajuan over here.
I'll be saying on them comments. I just be laughing. I'll be thinking that's so funny.
Does that stuff impact you at all, or is it more? It's more funny than anything.
Not for real. My mom always told me that words never hurt, so she been telling us that since we was a little kid, since we was little walking around. So that stuff don't bother me. I just play my game.
100%.
He also won a natty, so
yeah, he was the starting point guard on a national championship. The reason we won in the second half. So I mean, no big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, and those Twitter people don't know anything. I've been saying lately, if you tweet one time in your life that Coach Self should be fired from the University of Kansas, Twitter, Elon Musk, you should put this in the algorithm. If you tweet that, just automatically ban their Twitter and then have them checked up at like a mental hospital for a little bit, just to make sure everything's like kind of circuited right in their head, because that is a out of pocket statement.
Speaking of crazy out of pocket. It wasn't out of pocket, but I want to see your opinion on it. During the women's national championship, talking about the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark encounter, what was your opinion on the whole hand in the face waving? Like, did you think it was out of hand? Like, what was your opinion on it?
I feel like it go both ways. I mean, I think Angel Reese saw that how Caitlin Clark was talking, and I think she wanted to get in her head, talk to her back, and Caitlin Clark didn't. That stuff didn't do nothing to her. She was playing her game. But I feel like they just that's how our dudes are. They just talking. But
I think that people overreacted about it.
I think that everybody overreacted. But Caitlin Clark she came on ESPN or whatever. She talked about like it's just they just being competitive. You know how girls just trying to be like how the boys are being competitive, talking stuff. So I think
that moment might have been even better for women's basketball. Like it drove so much attention to it that it's gonna make next year even more fun. It's going to make next year even more. The viewership on it's going to go up because people are going to want to watch Angel Reese. They're going to want to watch.
I think more people wanted to watch the girls than the boys.
It feels like that. Quite honestly, like during the women's national championship, that was an electric game.
All of my friends were
tuned in talking about it,
having people over to watch the game, and like not saying like this isn't deserved, but like I've never seen that before. Like I've never seen my friends like host a watch party to watch the NCAA women's basketball championship.
I think this year was like my first time actually watching girls like playing basketball, even like on TV. So it was different for me too.
Which is exciting to see it trending that way, because I mean they get buckets too.
Those two teams, they played like they're fun.
And Angel Reese was talking about this. She's like, why should I leave early to go to the WNBA when I can stay in college and make make more money than I would if I went, which is sad.
It's sad, but also at the same time, like if you're the NCAA and you hear that and you don't schedule LSU, Iowa has
to be on the schedule next year.
You are missing out on maybe $10
I don't care what invitational you have to do. Do it.
Just make it up. Make it up. Literally make it up. Make them
the Iowa LSU Invitational.
It does not matter.
The girls, they can do one and done, or they can't do that.
They have to do. I think they have to do 3 years. I want to say
3 years.
Do they, or do people just do 3 years because they have no There's not really an incentive.
I swear, I think it was 3 years.
I have no idea.
But I think that a lot more of them, especially the more popular ones, are going to start to do just in men's basketball. They're going to start to do the full 4 years, 5 years, just because there's
NIL.
It's fun to watch.
You're going to make more on NIL at Kansas than you would on a two-way contract.
And I think in a weird way, it's easy. It's more easily watchable. Like it's more watchable because think about the WNBA playoffs. You're playing. I don't know if it's 7-game series, but you're playing 5-game series where you're playing the same teams over again, and then you introduce the March Madness effect where the 64 teams upsets happen. You can have
one game like that. The better team may win 9 out of 10 times, but hey, the underdog caught him on that one time.
Upset. And then you can have people like Caitlin Clark who just get on a tear and average 40 points, and you're just watching them play next opponent. There's not anybody who can sit there and game plan. I think it's just a more watchable kind of experience. I think that the girl, they just love I love that. I love playing March Madness. If you could say I make the same amount of money in the NBA and play in March Madness every year and be a college, I would.
Did you see Will Compton's his point about how the NCAA March Madness is the most overrated thing in sports and all that stuff.
I didn't see it. I don't want to hear about it now.
I saw that and I had to say something now because like that has to be one of the worst takes of all time. March Madness is like it's like a top 3 sporting event, right?
Of all time. No,
like what top 3 sporting event of what else? There's a Super Bowl.
What do you rank? I think you got to go Super Bowl, March Madness, FIFA. I'm not a soccer fan though.
I'm not a soccer fan.
In my personal opinion,
I would have said Super Bowl, NBA Finals, then March Madness. That's what I would have said because that's on sports I watch.
7-game series NBA Finals.
The first week of the final, or the first week of the NCAA tournament may be a top 3 by itself. Like that round of 64.
You haven't experienced that. We chilled out on the couch and just flipped through games.
Yeah, I gotta sit there and
even in school though, the kids, everybody be on their phones watching the games. The teachers might have it on the board.
I mean, think about your first weekends, like wherever you're at. Like when you guys were in Des Moines this year. Yeah, right.
We was in Des Moines. Yeah.
Like think about when you guys aren't in meetings or aren't like prepping for the game or whatever. What are you guys doing, bro? Like you guys are flipping through 4 channels at once.
Different channels. I brought my Xbox, like the YouTube app on my Xbox, so I was just flipping back on the controller, seeing what games was on. I was watching the girls' game too, but. There were some good games on this year. There were some good games.
Did Coach talk to y'all at all about being the 1 seed playing the 16 seed? Did he give you guys any motivation? Like, don't let that happen to you guys.
We played before.
I think
don't let that happen.
I don't know if Coach Rob said something. I'm pretty sure Coach Rob said something about that because the day before we Purdue lost FDU or whatever.
Yeah,
that was the day before.
Or was that the same?
I think it was the day. I think it was the day. They lost after. But I'm sure Coach Rob was tweaking because he was like, "I can't."
Facts. We went to I think we went to snack time or dinner, and he said some stuff like,
"Don't you dare let this happen on my watch."
My one.
You will run back to Lawrence.
But Coach Rob, he did a good job though. He did
a great job.
He knew what he was doing.
He may not have.
He got thrown to the wolves just out of nowhere. Like that's such a unexpected situation that people like. I saw people that were mad like, "Oh, Coach Rob didn't do this, didn't do that." I'm like, dude, like, how do you prepare for that?
The bro woke up on whatever the Big 12 tournament in the first game was. He woke up that morning being like, "All right, Coach Self, what are we doing?"
There's a decent difference between being an assistant coach and a head coach as well. Like Coach Self does so much that people don't see, and I think that Coach Rob he did a good job of taking that all on very quickly and then doing it well.
The 2 games we lost, the Texas in the championship game and the Arkansas game, like because I texted Coach Rob like after the games like to keep his head up because that is tough being in that position. Then we lose, we don't like to lose. Like, Coach Rob really don't like to lose.
He really doesn't.
So I knew that like hurt him a lot. So I gave him a little love message. Like, to keep your head up. Like you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. But I think he did a great job though. Even to start out the year when he started coaching us, he did a great job.
No, he did a fantastic job.
It's kind of crazy how at the beginning of the year we
and then he started the end of the year.
The beginning of the year, like it like almost prepared us. Like it was like a beneficial thing for us because Coach Rob already had some time preparing for being the head coach, and then at the end of the year,
I think a lot of people forgot about that. He coached us like the first 5 games.
Yeah.
So
I was so confident because of the fact he coached the first 5 games.
Me too. We good.
I was thinking in my head like it
could be better.
It's kind of written. Like it's kind of written. Like I said last year. Like it's just kind of.
With him, it's Coach Self gonna get on you like about the smallest stuff.
Yeah.
He kind of more like freelance. He let some stuff slide, but Coach Self gonna. Hey, if you miss a box out or something, like a rebound, like
one read, back
go
cut.
Get him. Back cut. But it was different, but at the same time it wasn't different because he was doing the same thing the whole year.
Yeah.
So
and I think that I don't know about like you're obviously like don't comment on this, but like it doesn't matter what Coach Rob was doing in between that 40 minutes. I know for a 1,000% fact that Coach Rob had you walking out of the locker room to go to tip. The most lit you'd ever been in your life. Like, what was his speech like? What was his speech like?
What was it like? I want to say before I think the first game in the tournament, he gave us like a speech of like so we don't like get upset or something like that. But I think the second game he was more calm.
Okay.
But he was also he was still turned up though. But
Oh, yeah.
It was like a calmer one, like a little smooth one. Like
Okay.
For the people that don't know, Coach Rob may have the most energy when it comes to pregame speeches of all time.
Motivation speech.
My first time I had an experience with it, we were in Madison Square
He
Garden.
gonna make you cry.
We were in the Knicks locker room. I forget who we were getting ready to play. I think we were getting ready to play Duke, and we were in the Knicks locker room. And he walks around the room and he goes, "Duke didn't recruit you.
Oh my
They didn't
God, I
recruit
remember this.
You. They don't like you. They don't recruit you." And then he gets to Josh Jackson, and Josh was like, they kind of
They recruited you.
But no, like, he's like, "They're eating your food off your plate." It's just the most motivating speech you can ever get, and you're ready to run through a wall.
You
And
gonna
I
be
wish
ready.
people could experience that before the game. There's got to be a way we can get a fan
gonna-
experience for that.
Well, you gonna be ready with his speeches. You gonna be ready to play.
You're gonna be ready, and I think they posted Coach Self's pregame speech for like the national championship, but they didn't post Coach Rob's for
Before,
Villanova,
yeah.
and that may have been the best
Yeah.
pregame speech I'd ever heard in my life.
You see me, I was playing defense out of my mind in the Final Four. He had me going.
We came out so hot because of that speech. That was the most lit. I mean, most turned up. Like I think, like what you said, like it'll bring a tear to your eye. Like, dude, I actually was in there, like kind of sad. I was so happy.
that was crazy.
I'm gonna go to some of the fan questions.
I flew too close to the sun with that one.
All right, this week we're doing fan questions with Dajuan. I posted a little link for people to ask some questions for you. This one's coming from Jordan. Is Dajuan more excited to play UConn at Allen Fieldhouse, Missouri at Allen Fieldhouse, or Kentucky in the Champions Classics, or Maui? What are you most excited for?
Yeah.
Maui, dude.
You gotta say Maui.
Maui,
You gotta go to Hawaii, especially playing in that atmosphere, playing at the Maui tournament.
especially when it's like snowing in Kansas and you get on a plane and you're at a beach.
But you remember my freshman year? You remember I went with y'all?
Yeah.
I didn't get to play, so I was just watching,
In the hotel room watching too, right?
No, I was behind. You remember I was behind the bench.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
we let you do
I
that
was,
game. Okay.
I was behind the bench, and then I was just watching. Like, it was just crazy. And then now, I remember them talking about it my freshman year, talking about like, in 4 years you'll be back here playing. And now, time just
4 years is up. He's
already
back.
Oh my God.
It's already here. So that's what
Gotta say Maui.
I'm gonna say Maui.
Gotta
Yeah,
say Maui.
You got to.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I mean, yeah, especially after
Yeah.
what
What I saw my freshman year.
Yeah, what you saw after. I mean,
That was-
especially like after when we had that day there after winning it, like, and we hung out with all the Dayton players and stuff. That
Yeah,
was
that
one
was
of
cool.
that was one of our more memorable.
jumping off the cliffs and stuff. That was
when
fun.
Obi got up there and wouldn't jump off, but you can't climb back down the like. You have a black rock. It's a cliff. It's like really sharp, like rocky cliff. Got up to the top, and we're jumping with Obi topping. And we just beat him in the championship, and somehow we're hanging out with him. And
The whole
Obi got
team.
stuck up there, like he would not jump. And there's like lifeguards, and he's like, "I'm coming down." They're like, "No, dude, like you are not walking down here. Like you are jumping."
Next question. Ask him what he. This is coming from. Oh, can't say that word. This is coming from Bennett's Conscience.
Someone's burner. Appreciate the question.
Ask him to recall what he thought about his first practices guarding Dotson and Marcus Garrett while trying to get around ball screens up high from Doak, Silvio, and David.
Man, because y'all know I remember I wasn't practicing.
No, that was a
first
good. That was a
semester.
really, really good question.
So I was when I got there. I'm smaller than I was now. Like, came 155, 160.
Shout out Ramsey, man.
Shout out Rounds.
But you know how Devon was fast. Like he was
So fast.
too fast. You need to be strong. I can smack the ball down, and if I smacked it, he'd still have the
have
ball in
it.
his hand. He'd lay it up, and then playing with Mark. You know how he is. Yeah.
You foul him.
You foul him, and then he'll get on you.
He'll give you 15 stitches.
He'll look at you. Get the yelling.
Like,
But
all right.
All right.
with him, you know how he was stronger and he was longer than me, so it was hard to guard him too. And then with them coming off the ball screens,
I swear, like, people
with
don't
Doak-
understand ball screens from like Doak and Silvio and Dave.
And-
Like,
In practice.
In
too.
practice.
you're getting
though.
your head taken off. Like,
And then you got to try super hard on red team, on scout team, so it makes it even more worse. You getting tired. You're on defense for half the practice.
the
So-
2020 team, we did have the best red team of all time.
Oh, we
though.
had the best red team.
I forgot. Yeah, that was all three of
We
us
had
on
it.
that too.
We
had a best
it
red
was
team.
so it was us three. Who else? Was on? Us three,
Tristan,
Tristan, and Jay Will was on it sometime.
Jay Will,
and then
Silvio was out.
Silvio
Yeah, I
came
told
on
you. Silvio was
after the
playing.
K-State game.
He was playing at the rec for 3-4 that year.
He'd just get on our team just to get on the team.
On blockout break,
And I'm telling you, we used to win more than we would lose against the unanimous number 1 team in the nation. Is like, people don't believe me, but we
remember that one practice in KC when we beat them by like 20.
Oh, who you're gonna play?
That was like right before Big 12 tournament, right?
Yeah, very.
Oh yeah, that was our last practice of the year before before COVID canceled the season. Think about the last time your Kansas Jayhawks, unanimous number 1 teams in the country, were on the basketball court together. Dajuan Harris, Chris Tehan, Mitch Lightfoot beat them by 25 in a 15-minute game.
That was probably one of the more maddest I've ever seen Coach Self in my entire life. He was like telling people to go run and touch he's like, go run and touch the scoreboard.
And then he get the call. He on the bus.
Yeah.
No, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's give people a little bit of an insight from your perspective. What was it like when they canceled? Tell the fans, like,
for real, just seeing everybody else's faces, like y'all faces, like
we were prepared for the game, right? Like everybody was taped up, ready to go. Like,
everybody
won a natty.
Yeah, and then we had the best team. We had the best big, best defender, best point guard. You got Ocha, one of the best role players. Well,
yeah.
At the time, he was a role player.
At the time, he was a role player. Isaiah Moss, like we was.
CB was coming off the bench.
CB was coming off.
As an NBA player, was coming off our bench.
So seeing everybody's faces, and some people they were seniors and stuff. They couldn't even finish. They couldn't even play in the Big 12 championship. They couldn't even play in the Big 12 tournament. So just seeing how the season got shorted and seeing like I said, everybody faces and like how everybody was down because I knew that y'all was gonna win the championship. But the whole country knew we was gonna win that championship, and seeing how that didn't go how we wanted to go, it made me even like I was like kind of messed up about it because it was fun watching y'all, seeing Dope, Mark, like I said, all the people that was playing. That was like half of those was my first time last time seeing them play in person. So it was sad because I thought they was gonna win it.
Coming back to we got back on the bus and drove back down Fieldhouse, and then coach was like, "Do you guys want to like practice?"
All of us. I mean, and like this is bad to say, but like we all looked at each other.
We were just like so emotionally like cashed because like you just like ripped our season out of our hands. And coach was like, "You guys want to practice?" And
you just want to go play pickup one last time. We're just all like, "Nah, like I want to go lay in bed."
I forgot he said that.
But did that? I mean, you hadn't played a game yet at Kansas. Like, does that kind of put it in perspective? Like, I mean, obviously that was an extreme exaggeration, but like, really, you don't know when you played your last play. Like, did that kind of put it in perspective and like not light a fire under your ass, but
value
like just,
every second?
Like, value every second. Like, it kind of shows in the way you play. Like, I don't know if that's part of the reason of it, but like, did it?
I mean, yeah, like, cause time going by fast. You know, this college stuff, basketball it's gonna go by fast. I'm already. Like, y'all probably ain't expect y'all to get out of college this fast. I'm already on my 4th year. So
I still feel like a freshman.
That's what I feel like. I feel like I was just here. But seeing all that, it just made coming into that next year, I knew I had to. I ain't had like a great year, but I had like a decent year. So I feel like coming in, I think I did all that I could do in the season. And I think after that following year, how we had that little down year, I feel like we all.
How much did that
Coach,
how much did that motivate you?
And Coach tested him that year, if you remember.
Because a lot of people wanted me to like transfer.
Yeah, I remember.
But I was like, I mean, Coach told me that I was gonna play, but I knew like Coach was gonna bring all them point guards that he did. And for it, that just made me just go harder, and I just knew what I needed to do. And I feel like, Coach is a defensive player. I feel like that made me turn up even more on defense because I ain't had to do nothing the year we won the championship because we had all the players, and my role was just to play defense and get us the offense and Ocha, Dave, you, y'all just bash out the ball, y'all go get a bucket, and that's all I had to do. So that made it easy for me, and then all I had to do was play defense. Coach loved defense, a lot of people, so that just made it even more easier for me. And then I already knew so much coming in because they was like everybody was new that came, and then but a lot of people freak out because Remy was starting with me, and then he got hurt, and then
you stepped right into that role, and you also play a game that like, bro, like Mark, you're like we compared you to Marcus Garrett, and Mitch, you can touch on this too. Like if you play like Marcus Garrett or you play like Dajuan Harris and you play defense like that, it doesn't matter
what you do on offense.
You will play.
Yeah, you play.
I think that's the cool part about how your game's evolved from even last year to this year. Like your offense has come so much farther as well. Like
Yeah.
you get in the lane, you're gonna hit your running floater off the glass. Like I think that
Bro, those don't make sense.
your jump shot's gotten so
I
much
don't
better.
know how
I
to
think
make that shit either.
I'm excited to see your jump into this
Yeah.
next year. Like you have an entire off season of work. I think it's gonna be pretty special for KU fans to see.
Yeah, but they got me doing the workouts now, Coach Case, because he can shoot, so he know what he talking about. Right now they got me like coming off ball screens, shooting behind ball screens more better, because teams gonna probably try to keep going on ball screens and stuff.
That would be that's not
So
wise.
I've just been working on that, and workouts, getting and making my release faster, because I got a set shot, I got to take time to shoot.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been working on mainly the most.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of just touched on, made me think, is like you came into the position as a defensive player. Like no one really talked about your offense. Like they would say you never turned it over and got into your offense. But then, like at the beginning of this year and pretty much 3/4 of the way through, people forgot that you were a defensive player because of how good you were playing on offense. Like when you were scoring, like I don't know if you saw the stat. I'm sure. Like when you scored under 5 points a game, we didn't win a game. Every game you got over 5 points, we won.
Yo.
Which is like when you hit the 5-point mark, I'd be in my couch like,
Let's go, guys.
Hit the recliner.
And after the games, I'll see everybody like tweets and stuff. I'll just be dead. I just be cracking
I'd
up.
be like, wait, that is true.
Next question from Fog Advisory: how nervous was Juan after he stepped out of bounds while trying to run out the clock in the end of the 2022 national championship game?
I wasn't nervous, but I was about to like
sad.
damn, be sad basically.
I sold.
But soon as I looked at Coach, and Coach is like, he's like, next play, just next play. And then
He was like,
I'm like, me in front of how many fans? About 70,000.
70,000.
I'm just like,
well, it doesn't matter. 70,000.
Once you get over 70, it doesn't really matter.
playing, people watching on TV, over 10 million people on TV watch. I'm like, dang. But then Coach and then y'all teammates, y'all made me forget about that even happened. Then we
On to the next spot. We gonna get a stop.
And I think that like you're in that situation though, like that happens. Like you're in the national championship, bro. Like you don't dwell on that. You automatically are like,
We gotta fix it.
we gotta fix it.
But
Fix it.
the
Fix it.
So the thing is, because you
That's
remember
what I'm saying.
I played the first like 10 minutes of the second half, and then Remy played the rest of the 10 minutes.
Yeah, he
So
was
then
cooking.
Coach slugged me in. So I wasn't even
go
stretch.
cold.
I'm
You go
cold.
cold,
I'm
yeah.
like, I was just shocked. So I got up, I ran to the table. I was running as fast as I could to get the ball. I think I was just going too fast.
You did take off though. You took off.
I mean, when you got that rebound, I was like, game. I was like, let's go. Let's go.
We are the champions.
I would have ran into the scores table probably. So like, I don't blame you at all.
And then it would have been a turnover too, because even if I didn't like step out of bounds, because I was leaning already out of bounds, and I just threw the ball. Only person I saw, I think Jay Will. That's the only person I saw down there. And then when I threw the ball, I looked up. The ball was going this way, but they called it down. So
We may have gotten lucky. I didn't really watch the end of it.
yeah, we got.
I just remember you stepping
I threw
out
it right
and being
to him.
like, if they hit this three, I'm gonna be really hurt, like really, really hurt.
But we was getting stops though last year. At the end of the year, we was guarding. So.
Oh, we were guarding. I mean, think about the way that we set up. Like you were saying, you played that first 10 minutes, and Remy came in, and he obviously did things offensively that,
man.
like he's a different breed. Like no one else can do those. But you came in, and I mean, you got stops. You were in steals, starting the fast breaks. Like you played a huge role as much as Remy was, like in a complete opposite manner. Like Remy didn't play any defense except for that one block.
Yeah, that big block.
But like you played defense and sparked the run, and then he came in and kind of was the closer where you just finished it off.
He closed that mud.
Yeah, by hitting those step backs or whatever he was doing. And each one of those shots, I mean, Mitch, what was going through your head, every time he did those step backs, I was just sitting there being like, bro,
Terrible
what
shot,
is
terrible
Remy
shot,
doing?
yes!
I love Remy. Love him.
How excited are you to? This is a little bit of change of pace, but how excited are you to mentor this new group of guards coming into KU? You're the old head now. Like
Yeah, I'm the old head.
It's your
It
job.
feels different now because I know that I'm gonna have to lead. I'm gonna be the voice of the locker room, and we got 5 or 4 new kids. They all guards too. So basically, just talk to them about like just having a defensive mindset first before trying to do a lot of things, because
Easiest way to make Coach happy. Is play
I
defense.
think a lot of people, when people come in here, they not thinking about defense. They thinking about other stuff, trying to score, trying to do what they want to do. But if you want to play with Coach Sell, the car coaching stuff, you're gonna have to be able to guard, be tough. You know how he is. But really, just pay attention to the small stuff, the details,
100%.
and just be ready to come in and work. So
100%.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and I think you're in an easy place where you don't have to prove like why you should be the leader.
Yeah.
Like you just come in, they're going to
Very
be
solidified role.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at you, and so you can lead by example as much as vocally leading. But I think you do a great job of leading by example.
I think another thing will help that Jank's here too, because he's been here for 4 years. And coach been trying to have him being like a voice too for like the walk-ons and stuff. So and Jank, Jank, he loud when he want to be loud. So he be talking in the gym with me. So it just that's a good thing. He's there too. But me and him gonna be the both leaders.
And I think I remember getting that role kind of with like what Jank had. It's like that's
what it is. That's exactly what it is.
That's like the most fun thing to do. Like you just sit there, you have your own little red team. And obviously, like, it matters. Like, you matter to the team, but it's like we aren't playing in actual games. Like, you got to get these boys right, and like just having fun, like getting to yell, like all the little walk-on freshmen.
Remember how you used to get mad, like when red team not doing like good, and like we got to help the blue team. That's basically what Jank be doing.
And then, like, somebody on red team would be doing bad, and they wouldn't yell at the guy that was doing bad. They'd yell at you because they knew you were in charge of the red team. Like, Chris, what the hell's going on? And then you turn around and cuss the guy out.
Well, they would know that, like, I would get mad, like, really mad. And then they knew I was going to say something, like, that was out of pocket. So they were like, all right, let me get some free entertainment halfway through practice. Chris, you're lacking, bro. You are not playing hard today. And I would turn around
red
to whoever I thought it was.
sucks.
I would tweak out. And they probably thought it was hilarious. They would just do it to see what I'd say to somebody.
And especially Coach KT, I know him.
I mean, he used to try to make me run outside and go touch the foul pole. Practice too. Go run to Hoagland Park and go touch the foul poles.
Chris, if you let him get another offensive rebound, you're gonna have to run and touch Rock Chalk Bar.
I'm guarding Udoka, coach.
There was a time in I think it was your sophomore year. Was it your sophomore year or your freshman year?
It was my freshman and sophomore
year.
year.
You had to play the 5 on the red team. Chris Tehan is guarding Udoka as a bookie.
Oh my God! I mean, and here's the thing: like, I'd never, like, I had a bunch of weird injuries. I've broken my nose. I've gotten stitches in both eyes countless times. But for some reason, with Udoka as a bookie, his favorite thing to do to me was turn elbows. He would elbow me in the Adam's apple. Like, there was one day I remember like him hitting me and literally being like, I think I just breathed my last breath. Like, he just broke it.
You gotta tell the story about the loose ball.
Oh my God!
So this is a great all-time story.
I can't remember if this was my sophomore or junior year, but it was my freshman year. This was my freshman year. This is literally like my first month on campus. We're practicing to go to Italy. And, practice gym, we have a full court and then we have a half court on the other end. There's no rules. Like, no rules. So there's a loose ball and me and Doak are chasing it over there.
And you clearly had it.
I clearly have it, bro. I have it in my hands and we're by those double doors. This man picks me up by my waist and starts shaking.
Like a dog with like a rag toy.
And throws me into the double doors, bro, and I fall out of the gym.
Coach is like, Doak, you can't do that. Good job, though.
And then he looks at me, he's like, Chris, you're going to let him do that to you?
Coach, I see how big he is, Coach.
And I literally thought I was dead. Like, he threw me into the doors. Like, it was like what you see a bully do to a high school kid in like a movie. He threw me out of the double doors. I remember getting up and just being like, bro, I'm never playing at Kansas.
Do I really want to be here?
And then you had boot camp too. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably wanted to quit.
Oh no, yeah. That month later, I think, and we had that what Coach Self calls dick days, where like he just gets mad for no reason, and I think
absolutely no reason. He just like wakes up on the wrong side of bed. All right.
And Doak was laying on the ground, so this is like back-to-back months with Udoka. Like me and Doak were not friends for a little bit.
Doak was just running in straight. He was running straight
compression shorts, bro. The man's laying on the ground, being like, "Oh, I'm so tired." And Coach Self's like, "Get up, we're running another one." And then he's like just adding shit on. And I'm sitting there like a little freshman, probably 20 pounds overweight, just had literally drank 1 million beers the night before, like an idiot, like leaning over a trash can. It was awful. Me and him were not friends for a good part of my first year.
I think that's the part about getting older. Like boot camp gets a little bit easier. Like I think it's a great way to not scare freshmen, but it's like more of like if you can get through it as a freshman, then coaches are just looking to see if you're going to be soft and say you can't do it or find an excuse.
I think you just gotta get through the stations.
Yeah.
You get to those stations, you're good, but
the 30-30s,
30-30s, those no joke.
Those keep me up at night.
But the best thing about it is just the last day. There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Bro, it didn't matter. Like, I don't think I understood. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was.
You start to get blind, and like, you can see a little dot, and your vision's like blurry around the outside. Yeah,
blurry.
That's boot camp for you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Waking up at 6:15 every 2 weeks. What? I think we went a week and a half this year.
Was Bootcamp harder this year or easier this year?
No, I feel like it was the same.
Is it about the same?
Yeah.
Well, last year when
I think last year was much easier because we was older. Like we knocked it out.
Oh yeah.
I think this year was more tougher.
Hey, good luck.
I
for
mean,
you guys
because
this year. All new people.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
luck. I might say a prayer for.
Oh my God, I forgot. I didn't even think about that.
I'm
want to leave.
gonna have to lead. You know how they gonna be.
You had to be yelling the entire time. Like, you'll lose your voice by the third day. Like,
But this past year, I was in the front though. I was in the front, so
Get the inhaler ready.
ooh,
get the
I'm gonna have an ass.
Shay go walk by through a blood pressure thing. You go take your oxygen level.
I want to say I don't know if it was boot camp. No, it wasn't boot camp. Never mind. It wasn't even boot camp. Never mind.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's been another great episode. We had Dajuan on. I'm sure he'll be on again in the future. We've really enjoyed our time. Tune in, like, subscribe, drop comments, interact. We'd love to see what you guys have to say. It definitely impacts our interviews and it helps us give better interviews.
Yeah,
So,
and we're gonna do more of those question and answers. So even under the YouTube videos, question and answer, we're gonna pick 5 to 10 each time. We'll say you're at ask our guests those questions.
they can be anything from like questions you want to know about the player's life before Kansas, or they can be about concerns you have about the upcoming teams, like situations, like.
And keep them PG.
Please.
Me and Mitch have to sift through some that are absolutely disgusting and hurt our feelings and our Christian values.
If you guys want to laugh, go to our Twitter and read some of the comments underneath. There's salty K-State fans, salty Mizzou fans, inappropriate KU fans.
We can do a couple. Oh wait, you just mentioned K-State. Before we sign off, this is like kind of an encore at the end. Juan, what's your opinion on them having Elite 8 in their profile picture on Twitter right now?
Congratulations.
K-State basketball team.
Oh, I'll show it to you before.
I didn't even see it. Let me see.
I gotta show you before.
There's Dylan over there. No, finish it.
I gotta show you. We're showing.
We gotta show this. Yeah, sorry, we got off track. We were supposed to talk about this during. I was going to say K-State and Mizzou fans both have caught strays in this episode, so we'll gladly accept a stray for the next week or so.
K-State's bragging about their Elite 8 appearance in 2023. Congratulations on the Elite 8.
Yeah, congrats. I mean, oh no, I can't say too much.
He can't.
We can.
Yeah, I can't say too much.
All right, yeah. Hey, we're gonna hang the women's NIT banner right next to our national championship banner now. After that,
Yeah, 100%. I am excited for what's to come for Kansas athletics. I think we're on the right path. I think women's
I think the baseball team doing pretty
baseball
good.
teams they're on a 7-game win streak,
Yeah, that's
aren't
what
they?
I'm saying.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on a 7-game win streak. So I think Kansas basketball is headed in the right direction. Travis Scott's doing a great job.
hopefully we can get him on the
rolling.
podcast soon
No,
too.
I think slight insight. We might have Mr. Goff coming on the podcast here soon, so that'll be a great next guest because we had a great one today.
He'll be hard. Yeah, he'll be hard to beat Juan though, right there.
No,
So
you
he may
nobody
not.
can beat this one, no.
he may have to not come on for a couple weeks and let this one cool off.
yeah.
I might have to come right back on here next week.
All right, guys. Hey, appreciate it. That was another episode of Rock Chalk Unplugged. We're out of here. Rock Chalk.